Today's story time is talking about the 10 most unhinged things I did before I became a minimalist. So this is like 2014 circa. Luckily Will was there. I went and I asked Will too. I was like, hey, do you remember some of the unhinged things I did before we became minimalist? Oh, he had a long list. So this is why this list is 10 items. He was fast with it too. He's like, do you remember this? Do you remember that? I was like, okay, all right, okay. I got the point. Yeah, let's just embarrass myself. So yeah, let's get on with the story time. Let's get it. Let's go. Woo. Okay, so coming in at number 1. I loved going to Forever 21. I was obsessed with that store. That store had me in a chokehold. I used to go to that store all the time. I always felt like if I didn't leave that store with like the little yellow baggie, did today even happen? Any money that I made from my part-time job, I like blew at that store. I treated that store like the bank. I literally would go to that store to pretty much deposit my money. I don't even know what the chokehold was. It was across my house because I live downtown. So I used to go there all the time before school, after school. And what did I buy? I truly don't remember. I like spent the money on clothes that I have long since decluttered, fell apart, and I honestly don't know what the obsession was. It was pretty unhinged because like literally I spent all my money there, like all my money. Hey there, my handsome and pretty little Cobras, and time for a quick little commercial break. So I want to give a big thank you to Bestify for partnering with me for today's segment. So they have kindly gifted me a replica bag in exchange for a review on my channel. If you're not a fan of replicas, no worries, just hit next, or I will see you in the next video. But I want to say a big thank you. So let's do the unboxing. It comes in the beautiful Christian Dior box, and let's go ahead and open that up. On the inside, it comes with paperwork. It comes with this beautiful twilly, which I'm like super excited to put on. Then the bag itself, it comes in a little dust bag that says Dior, and let's take out the bag. So this is the D-Joy in lambskin white colorway, and let's take the little charms and untie the bow. Wow, I'm so excited. And then when you open it up on the inside, it has the straps. So that's what they look like. And then when we look on the inside, that's what the inside looks like. And it has the really cute handles. So it comes with 2 types of straps. The one with the shoulder one that's shorter, and then the longer one. I really like this type, so we're gonna go with this one. So these are definitely a light carry type of bag because they unfortunately will not fit. Oh my gosh, that is so freaking cute. So let's try on the long strap. This is how it sits. Let's put on the twilly because that's super exciting. This is what the twilly looks like. It's double-sided, and I've just gone ahead and tied it on, and it looks so freaking cute. So I just want to say a big thank you to Bestify for partnering with me today for today's video. I'll leave all of their links and discount codes down below. So thank you so much to my Cobra babies as well, because nothing would be possible without you guys. And let's continue on with today's regularly scheduled program. Okay, so coming in at number 2, another thing that I was pretty obsessed with was house decor. I don't think I've ever really talked about that, given that I still do like some house decor, like this plant. It's not a real plant, but it looks very old money. I had an obsession with house decor, and you might be wondering, like, what did you used to buy? So that little love dish plate, that thing was an example of like items that you really need to understand. This was like before I became a minimalist. Before I became a minimalist, I was obsessed with decorating and like nesting behavior. I just loved accumulating little trinkets, putting them on display. I probably haven't changed much. So now as a minimalist, I'm really big on no house decor. For me, house decor has to either be a box that came with an item, painting, a picture, items that I use on the daily, like my hat or my bag, but I will not intentionally buy house decor. Like it's a hard no. Okay, so coming in at number 3, another crazy obsession that I had was like contact lenses. At the time it was called gyaru. I was like in my gyaru era, and like Japanese contact lenses were all the rage. And I used to go to this Asian mall, and I would like buy these overpriced contact lenses. I remember because they were import. They were like $20 a pop. I loved wearing them, and this is before I got LASIK, so I used them for like prescription and whatnot. And like I was so obsessed with the contact lenses. Like I honestly don't even know what the chokehold was. Like after I became a minimalist, I definitely embraced more of my natural features. If I do wear contact lenses now, they're like natural shades. I really like wearing like ash tone grays and like light browns because they look very similar to like my own eye color. But at that time, I was wearing like crazy eye colors. I remember one time when Will and I were working in Shanghai, I had like pink contact lenses. I used to love wearing like blue, green. Oh my God. And they were not comfortable. So I'm so glad that like I haven't really embraced my like natural beauty. That was something that was really big in my minimalism journey, because prior to that, like I didn't really like my natural self, which is such a pity because like I don't think I'm a bad looking girl. All right, coming in at number 4, speaking of like not embracing natural beauty, oh my gosh, hair dye and hair straightening. When I tell you, I probably had like a deep-rooted hatred of my hair. Like, I'm not lying. Until I became a minimalist, even through my minimalism journey, a big aspect of my minimalism was like getting rid of the obsession of dyeing my hair. I was dyeing my hair every single month. Anytime a little bit of growth grew, I would dye my hair. And I mostly would dye my hair like this like light brown color. And it's not a terrible hair color. Light brown is a very pretty color. And I don't know why I thought that color was prettier than my black hair. I just thought black hair looked just so drab. I just thought it was like so common, nothing special. So I just was constantly dyeing my hair brown. And on top of that, I also didn't like my natural curls, which is like crazy because I rock my curly hair all the time, and I've been rocking my curly hair for the majority of my YouTube channel. So I think it's just crazy to think that like I was constantly straightening my hair. My hair was so damaged from all of the hair dye. It never grew past my shoulders. It was like just snapping off all the time, and it wasn't a flattering look. It just didn't look natural on me. And now that I'm a minimalist, I'm just so glad that I just rock my black hair, my curly hair, and it's just like I love myself. And I think that's kind of the foundation of why I just rock my natural color and hair pattern. Okay, coming in at number 5. So I had 48 phone cases. I actually had a YouTube channel that I started in university. I think it was called Smallest Cobra. I had all of 2 videos, and I specifically filmed a video that was called my phone case collection, and I counted it, and it was 48 phone cases. Like I don't know what happened to that channel, if it's even around, I don't know, maybe. But long story short, I had like this weird obsession with like changing the clothes on my phone. So I had the iPhone 4, and I would buy iPhone cases like it was nothing, and I would change my clothes for the day, and then I'd also change my phone's clothes. I had 48 phone cases of whatever was trendy, whatever was cool, and it was like, it was a waste of money. It was very wasteful. Nobody needs 48 phone cases. I'd have to change the phone case every single day for a month, and I still wouldn't use up all my phone cases. Now as a minimalist, I'm like horrified and borderline embarrassed to say that like I had so much pride in my phone case. I had like a plastic tub where I like kept all of the phone cases, and it was like in the realm of like a mental disease. I don't have that problem anymore. I have my one phone case, it goes on my phone, and I keep it on my phone until like I change phones. All right, coming in at number 6, cosplay, expensive hobbies. Will came up with this. He's like, you spent a lot of money on cosplay. I did. I feel like two-sided with this one. I think cosplay is very creative. Still like cosplay. I like watching cosplay TikTokers. I still love the art of cosplay, but like I was a high school student and a university student, and I was broke. I had no right indulging in an expensive hobby of cosplay. I think I still do have 1 or 2 of those cosplays at my mom's house. You might be wondering, who did you cosplay as? For those of you who are curious, cosplayed as, oh my gosh, I can't even remember the names anymore, but this one with the pink hair from the people who ride on the rollerblades. I'm like blanking out. It's been like 15 years. I cosplayed as Simka. I want to say her name is Simka. I also cosplayed as the Toradora with the blonde hair. Just to illustrate my point, I spent all this money and I can't even remember the damn characters' names. If I could go back in time, I think I probably would have picked a more low-key cosplay, or maybe not have indulged in this expensive hobby when like, yeah, waste of money. Okay, coming in at number 8, Starbucks, the gold card. I was pretty obsessed. So don't get me wrong, I haven't kicked the Starbucks habit. First and foremost, I just want to disclaimer that I still love me a Starbucks. The gold card kind of dates me. I don't think that that's a thing anymore, although maybe it is. It was the card that had your name on it. Yeah, it said like Natty Baby on it, and I was obsessed with Starbucks, and I had no right going to Starbucks. Like, I was a broke university student. What was I thinking? But I just remember thinking like, I'm that girl. I'm so cool. I'm so popular if I drink at Starbucks. Honestly, I should have saved that money. I should have been more frugal. I think I'd be further along if I had taken that money and just invested it. I know you only live once in YOLO and you'll never be young ever again, but like, yeah, these are some of the pretty unhinged things I did before I was a minimalist. I thought going to Starbucks all the time was something normal, and like, I'm so embarrassed to say this, like, not only would I waste my money at Starbucks, I would waste my boyfriend's money at Starbucks. It wasn't enough that I had to make poor financial decisions, I had to make my significant other also suffer. So yeah, I haven't really I haven't really learned. To be fair, guys, I did grow up and I did buy the stock at one point. So, like, as a shareholder, pretty unhinged when I look back on it. Coming in at number 8, not being able to afford food, but still making makeup happen. So, I have mentioned in a lot of my videos, I love me a makeup moment and I love makeup. I've definitely kicked the habit since becoming more of like a true minimalist, but like, my God, I would spend money on expensive makeup. I remember the choice of poison at the time was MAC. MAC Cosmetics had me in a chokehold. I love their lipstick. I was obsessed with their lipstick. I remember I even asked Will when we first started dating, I was like, can you buy me some MAC lipsticks? This man's a G. He got me like a heart cake and cupcake. I think it was cupcake was the flavor. And he got me the MAC bullet. Snob. It was Snob. Yeah, he remembers. Snob. And I treated the thing like my baby. When I went to school up north, I took it with me. I even took photos of it and put it on my Instagram like it was like my newborn. There were plenty of times where sometimes like I would not go to the food court because I didn't have money for food. But somehow I would figure out a way to magic $20 to treat myself to makeup. It's just like poor financial decisions. And this is just completely out of whack perception of money, perception of how life should be lived. And I'm so glad that that's not the case. You will never catch me going broke over makeup. Coming in at number 9, I followed every single fashion trend like an idiot, like a zombie. Like I had no thoughts of my own. And the one that I can think of that has me in a chokehold and literally still has Will in a chokehold, he loves to remind me of the maroon trend. Maroon was everything. In the early 2000s, maroon was like the color. And I made everything that I bought in that color. I had like a Michael Kors bag in that color. I had a pair of Doc Martens in that color. Any shirt that I bought had to be in that color. Like it was wild. I was so obsessed with that color. I honestly have no clue why I was so obsessed. To be honest, now that I think about it, right now I'm obsessed with white and everything needs to be white. So I think, honestly, I don't think I've really changed much, if I'm being completely honest. I liked maroon because maroon was the color. So just to clarify, I don't like maroon and I don't wear maroon anymore. And I don't necessarily think it was a very flattering color, but it was the it thing. And so I followed it blindly. Even the Doc Martens, even the Michael Kors, those were the it items at the time. And so I felt like I really needed it. And this brings me to point number 10 is that like I was buying luxury items before I could afford it. And I know you're going to argue these are not luxury items. I know they're not luxury items, but for its time, and my socioeconomic status, they were pretty luxurious and wasteful. Thing that I can think about was like I had a Michael Kors bag back when Michael Kors was still like low tier luxury. There were no outlets at the time. It was on the same floor as Coach. I know I'm like super dating myself with this, but yeah, the Michael Kors bag was $300 in like 2011 or 2010. That was insane money. I don't even know what I was thinking. I had to have that. Not only that, I had 2 of them. I had a brown one as well. If I can find photos of them, because this is like going way, way back. Bought a Prada Sifano bag. I don't even have that anymore. I threw that thing in the trash when I became an extreme minimalist. Stupid, idiotic. It was expensive, and literally the only reason I wanted it was not because it looked good or anything like that, but it's because like I either saw somebody else wearing it in the street or because it was expensive. If it was expensive, I had to have it. I had to prove to everybody that like I was that girl. And it's just like, it's wild. It's ridiculous because I really don't think like that at all as a minimalist. If anything, I think the opposite. Like I barely wear my Gabby in public just because I feel kind of like it's cringe. Like, I don't know. I feel more comfortable just walking around with either like my nylon bag from Uniqlo or even just my Coach bags. Like, I just feel like, this is nice. It's a solid, stable middle class bag. I don't need to flex on people. Like, who am I really flexing on? The barista at Starbucks? Like, how embarrassing. So because of that, who I used to be and who I am now, it's such a world of difference. I would never do something idiotic like that. The last luxury bag that I bought was the YSL Gabby, and I just promised myself never again. I'm over collecting overpriced items. It's really stupid. Comment down below some of the unhinged things you've done as a minimalist. I would love to hear it. I hope that you guys could have enjoyed this little story time. I don't know if I did it correctly, but I'll try again. I'll make another. I do have some more ideas. Comment down below if this is the right way to do it, or if you have another preferred style. I would love to hear it, and I will definitely implement that. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.